G'day guys, Mac with the Outer Circle, and in today's episode I want to talk about Games Workshop lying. They're lying about one particular thing, and I'll really ram home and reinforce the point. But they're lying to you, the customer, and they're lying to their shareholders with this statement. It might be well intentioned. I don't believe it is. I think it's obfuscation of the truth. On page 32 of their latest financial report, we come across this gem. Third paragraph down on customers. We engage with our customers through our retail stores, our social media sites, and through warhammercommunity.com. This allows two-way communication with our customers. Any recurring topics or points of note are shared with and considered by the board. Senior management also visit retail stores as well as independent retailers to help understand customer views. How does one have two-way communication through warhammercommunity.com? There are no forums, there are no places to leave a comment. It is an advertisement, a page of bullshit. Because that's how I see this statement. Yes, we can talk with the staff in our local stores, but those staff in our local stores are generally nice, down-to-earth people who unfortunately have to play the game with the company or lose their jobs. So, unfortunately, they can't really push our views too hard up the ladder, can they? Senior management, they don't give a fuck what we have to say. If they did, they'd have changed the way they operate their business. But they don't, because it's making them money. They have no need to change. So, all in all, this is a lie. In fact, it's a whopper of a lie. I want to take you now and take you back several years. We're going to go back to the launch of 9th edition Warhammer 40,000. Before we'd even hit 9th edition, we were already having problems with supply and demand. The Sisters of Battle, for instance, when they had their plastic re-release, sold out within minutes, reported in multiple countries. Here's a snapshot of just a few comments off Reddit. Take it however you like. We also have problems with the Black Library. End of the Death, Saturnine, First War, all of them. Newsletters not dropping until late in the day or several hours after, people not realising that something has come out online, it's already sold out, or people being online already, and then the website crashes from activity, and yet somehow the only people never affected by this were the scalpers. We also have issues with all of their specialist games, constantly out of stock. We have articles on this written by different publications. We have whole ranges in plastic of the game which are sold out on a constant basis in multiple countries. And even more interestingly, they insist on bringing out yet more game systems and yet more miniatures to satisfy their lust and greed for wealth. All of these things are the direct problems the customers have addressed the most in the last 5 years plus. Consistently, I've seen it on thread after thread online of customers saying, stop with these limited releases, do something about piracy, and do something about the way that scalping is conducted online, and the botting and the web store, and Games Workshop has done the absolute minimum amount required. Why? Because there is no incentive there. Simps are gonna simp, I hate to say, because people are buying these products and buying them at full price and buying them off scalpers at full price regardless. And it's a shame to see, and this problem has stuck with us all the way up into this new edition of Warhammer 40,000. And at least with the basic rulebook, what they did with 9th and what they did with 10th was they said we're going to do an increased production run to make sure there are enough copies eventually if you place your orders with us. Rather than setting a realistic expectation of market demand, the company is just trying to adjust on the fly. It's incredibly unprofessional that they don't have the foresight to understand what the user base actually wants, how many people want to buy the product. And this is because they don't have two-way communication. I really need to ram home the point here. because the company doesn't listen. If they listen, they would know how many people want something and would buy it. They would know the appropriate price point, and they would know what the community demands. Just take a look at the Horus Heresy. Here's a snapshot from today of the Games Workshop webpage in Australia. Look at that. Mark III Tacticals, sold out. Mark IV Tacticals, sold out. The old Scout Squad sculpts in plastic from 4th edition 2004 that have been lazily ported over to the Heresy, sold out. All you have is Mark VI Tactical Squads in stock. Not a huge mover for some reason. Wonder why that is. But despite this object being in stock, what do you notice a distinct lack of? Anything that's not tactical squads. And this is a problem that people have been complaining about since, well, pretty much since Betrayal at Kelth. We've been asking for plastic breaches, plastic assault marines since 2016. But the Horus Heresy community is easy to ignore. It's a small part of the franchise overall. Really, it was often a haven for those escaping the clusterfuck of every edition of 40k as it terminates itself. No, we reach a zenith in the last year or so because, well, we're over a year and a half since the announcement of Heresy 2, and over a year since the actual launch of the box and these miniatures got into people's hands, and yet we see no additional infantry types. We know they're coming, but they've been planned for so far down the road because they felt that getting things like Imperial Knights out for the Horus Heresy was more of a priority, because this is a company that has two-way communication and likes to listen. No, they are liars, and this really insults me, because I don't like being lied to. And on a professional financial report, to say such, blatant lies as, oh, we actually have two-way communication through WarhammerCommunity.com, an advertising portal, which posts daily newsletter articles and nothing more, and their social media presence is highly limited. Okay, maybe Warhammer Community through Twitch, when they do a live stream reveal, maybe that's a little bit of two-way communication, but unfortunately heavily moderated. So if someone does say something they don't really agree with, well, that vanishes, and let's face it, nobody is going to trawl through all of those comments to actually fish out the pearls of wisdom. So how is the information getting passed up the chain to these managers? It's not, and they don't care because they're getting their money regardless. So I felt compelled to make this video, not because it's what I wanted to make. I've been too busy trying to paint my salamanders for an event in a week's time, and I've also been working full time, and I'm trying to move house, I'm trying to sell my old house as well as that. I've got a lot of shit on my plate, and I want to do a video on 3D printing miniatures. These are things that are actually important to me. Things that are, relatively salt-free. But unfortunately, I have to make a video like this because just the insulting nature of it. The fact that there have been issues with miniatures selling out for 4 or 5 years at least that have not been addressed in any way, shape or form. There are miniatures with books, issues with books being sold out rather than miniatures. There are also issues when it comes to producing the actual kits that people are demanding. And of course, we know that they're about to launch a new version of Epic set in the Horus Heresy. They just killed off Aeronautica. They're taking some of the models from Aeronautica, porting it into this edition of Epic, and they can't keep any of their fucking models in stock, and yet they think, oh, well, we'll just churn out another game system. I'm sure we'll keep that one in stock too. It is insulting. So, do with this video as you will, but I dare you to tell me I'm wrong. Come on, sympathizers for the company, please meet me in the comments below. Tell me all the myriad of reasons why I'm wrong on this. Why, no, this isn't lies, this is just misunderstanding on my end, how there really is meaningful two-way communication. The company really has adjusted, and they care about the community, because I'm frankly not seeing it. Anyway, I'm back with yet a circle. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next, hopefully much happier video.